On the dividend news, guys, we do have the Dividend Champ Leggett & Platt, which just reached about a 10% dividend yield. What do you guys think? Is this safe or will they be cutting it? Let me know. On the other news, we do have Harbor One Bancorp, which hiked its dividend by 6.7%. And the last one we do have, guys, here is OXM, which actually hiked its dividend by 3.1%. What's up, everybody? This is Antonio here, bringing you episode 232 of the portfolio update. So you guys already know it's Sunday. It's time to go over the portfolio, what we bought, what we sold, what dividends came in. Guys, in this episode, we actually bought $35,000 worth of a stock that we were selling options on. So we got assigned 200 shares. I'll be covering that when we jump over to the history on the Schwab account. As well, I will be going over 11 companies that are expected to announce a dividend raise in the month of April. So definitely stay around. We will definitely be covering a lot of information in this video. And if I show you guys, you already know that every single Sunday we come back, we kick off the scripts. This is actually what my portfolio is projected to generate on a monthly basis passively. This is going, converting our active income into passive income. What passive income means, we don't really have to do anything. Our portfolio is going to work hard for us. In general, we are making about $1.01 every single hour that goes by, which is very, very awesome. In this video, since I did actually purchase $35,000 of a certain company that I will be covering shortly, they actually will decrease my projections here. So by the end of the video, we should see this much lower, but typically every single Sunday we see this much higher because we continue to dollar cost average into the portfolio, continue to grow our dividend snowball. If we do look here, guys, at the annual dividends, we do have about $1,234.85 that we've made so far in this year. We've already surpassed what we made in the last 12 months of 2019 when we first started investing, and we're actually wrapping up the month of March. So I will be generating or creating a video for how much we made for the month of March in dividends. It was very, very, very juicy, guys, and the best part of it was that it was passive. We had to do nothing for this, and it just continues to motivate us to continue putting more money into the portfolio. If we do look at the quarterly, again right here, we're working on Q1 of 2024. I'll be making that video shortly, and we should see this way higher, so hopefully we can surpass Q4 of 2023. If we do look at the options premium, guys, here for March, we ended up with $1,014.75 that we made in premium from selling options this past month. As well, if we do look here, rate of return on our options on my money invested so far, we're at 2.96%. I definitely cannot complain about that because that's just a little cherry on top of the dividends, on top of the gains that we are generating while we get assigned positions that we don't mind holding for the long term. If I do show you guys here the goals, which is primarily what keeps us focused, continues to keep us disciplined, and especially in the rough markets where we see a pullback or we continue seeing the portfolio go higher and higher. But the first one is to reach 20,000 subscribers. This is more related to my YouTube channel. So if you're new to the channel or return viewer that hasn't subscribed, consider subscribing with that notification. Definitely would appreciate it. As well, if all of you guys could drop a big thumbs up on the video, as again, I would appreciate it. It definitely goes a long way, costs you nothing, and helps out. But anyways, goal number 2 is to make about $425 per month in dividends. We're actually surpassed this, but a lot of it is because we do have SNSXX, which is what we have majority of our other capital that we have invested. So this will actually decrease those. I believe it's about $700 is what we're technically projected to make on a monthly basis. But once we get assigned shares, this will decrease because I do have invested, or I invest myself into companies that actually have a very low dividend yield, but a double-digit 5-year CAGR, which when I actually decide to live off of this, hopefully by that time my dividend yield will be much, much higher. especially because it helps me out with taxes right now because it does have a lower dividend yield on that. But goal number 3, guys, is to reach about $126,000 invested in my own money. As you'll see here, we're at $121,076.84. We're slowly chipping away at it, and then we'll eventually reach on it by the end of the year. I believe we can. This one is within my control, so I will achieve that. Goal number 4, guys, is to dollar cost average $100 at a minimum every single week. We continue doing that. I'll show you that in the Schwab history account when I show you how much I deposited this past week. Goal number 5, guys, is to drip an additional $25 every time a company is about to go ex-dividend. It's just a thing to like keep me disciplined, allows me to force myself to invest more money into the portfolio. Actually, last year I was doing, I believe, $100 every time a company was going ex-dividend. I am actually cutting back a little bit just because I have to use my money for some other things for right now. But if once I get past that, I will definitely probably go back to $100 per ex-dividend company. But again, this is just allows me to, force myself to invest more into the portfolio. As well, it allows me to meet that ex-dividend date for that quarter, which in terms, that little crumb that I do meet, will compound back into the portfolio, which in the long term, it does compound, guys. Those little crumbs add up over time. And goal number 6 is to reach about $100 per month selling options, guys. We are destroying this one. So hopefully we can continue to keep it, and we'll see what happens by the end of the year. And then goal number 7, guys, is to reach 1,000 shares of SCHD. We already surpassed 700 shares, so we have 300 shares more to go. So we're slowly chipping away on that one, and we'll eventually get on it by the end of the year. And then, guys, if we do look here on the dividend payout, we do have a couple companies that we have dividends coming up. So we have Altria, which they'll be paying out on April 30th. And then we have JP Morgan, which they actually announced a dividend raise of 9.52%. They will be paying $1.15. They were paying $1.05. And then you'll see that we do have Starbucks and Microsoft. So later in the video, I'll kick off the scripts. This is a script I have, again, guys, completely available for free. Just check out one of my videos or tutorials, and yeah, just let me know what you guys think of these scripts. We'll kick them off later. If we do look at the options, you'll see so far $3,589.23 we've made in the past 3 months. Cannot complain about that. Very, very happy with those returns so far, especially because that is just a cherry on top. And if we do go ahead and start with the portfolio value, guys, you'll see that it's at $240,138.39. On the day change, we are down by $62.73 in the red, which is a 0.03%. 2-year change, $52,028.15, which on the capital gain stand is 27.66%. And then if we do look here, guys, on the positions, you'll see that we are up in capital gains by 12.31%, totaling to be about $26,161.44. And then you'll see that on our cash balance, we do have $1,497.48. And then you'll see, guys, 220 shares of Apple. Yes, guys, we did get assigned 200 shares of Apple from those cash secured puts we placed, and I was actually planning to roll them, but we got actually assigned early. I believe we got assigned on Wednesday. I saw a notification that I got assigned in the morning, and then I ended up selling some SNXXX to cover my position. So now we have over 200 shares of Apple. Definitely cannot complain. I'll be happy with that because I do plan to hold Apple for the long term. And then we do have Microsoft, which we do have a cash secure put. Again, I wouldn't mind actually getting assigned 100 shares of Microsoft, but I'm going to try to, see how long we can continue to sell cash secure puts until we get assigned, just like we did with Apple. And then you'll see that we also have SCHD. I have a cash secure put on SCHD as well. So that would bring us up to 800 shares, but, we're going to see what happens there. We have about 707 shares of SCHD. We got about, 293 more shares to go. and SCHD is trading around $80.63 now, which is a great return so far for us. And then SNSXX, which now, guys, we only have about $70,000 invested in this. This kind of technically covers our positions for Microsoft and also covers our SCHD positions. Technically, we are selling naked puts, but immediately I sell out of SNSXX to cover my positions, because right now SNSXX is earning us a little bit over 5% return on this money. Very low risk on it, so it's a great strategy. We'll see how long we can continue to do this. But if I do show you guys here on the performance, you'll see that we are up by $37,282.89 in gains. If we do look at the return is an 18.55%. And then if we do look here, guys, on the investment income, we're projected to make about $7,442.13 in the next 12 months. Our average on a monthly dividend payment, we're projected to make about $620.18. Did this go? It actually went down because we were in the 700s. And again, that is because we got assigned 200 shares of Apple. So we went from earning on $35,000, we went from making a 5% return to about a little bit less than 1% on Apple's dividend is what they pay out. But for April, we are projected to make about $521.56. May, $410.65, and then June, guys, $928.33. And then, guys, if we do look at the history, I do have it to start filtering out from the 25th of March all the way till the 30th. And if we scroll to the very bottom, I'll show you guys what happened this week. So first one we did, which actually this was from last week, which was the Microsoft put that we actually sold. It expired worthless, so that was great. And then on the 25th, guys, of March, I did end up selling a actually cash secure put on Microsoft for the 28th of March with a $420 strike price. They paid us $116.34 to take this risk. And then, right here on the 25th as well, SCHD paid out its dividend of $425, guys, and 20 cents, completely passive. On the 26th, they actually dripped the dividend, which reinvested that amount, and it actually bought back 5.35 shares. So next quarter we should get even more dividends. And then you'll see here on the 26th, 27th, I believe was actually on the 26th, I got exercised those cash secure puts I had on Apple for $175 strike price, and we got assigned those too. So we were forced to buy Apple at $175, 200 shares of that, which is roughly about $35,000. And I was actually planning to roll it, but unfortunately I did get assigned early. That is one thing that you have to consider when you do sell cash secured puts. You could get assigned early. And you'll see on the 27th we actually got the Nvidia dividend, a very juicy dividend. Just kidding, 3 pennies from Nvidia is what we got. You'll see on the 27th we did get interest from Schwab on our money we have not invested, which was 46 cents. And then, guys, right away on the 27th, I actually did sell $35,000 worth of SNSXX. That was to cover my Apple position. And then on the 27th, 28th, I did deposit $100 because we do have a goal to dollar cost average into the portfolio no matter what the market's doing. And then you'll see on the 28th, I did buy some SCHD. I bought 2 shares, spending about $160.94. And then on the 28th, guys, I ended up rolling my Microsoft cash secure put at $420. It was actually about to get assigned, so I paid $19.66 to actually buy it back. I right away rolled it with doing a sell to open. Went down the strike price to $415. Went out till April 5th. And they paid me $150, so I got to keep the difference there. So what is it, about $130 in premium that I made from this roll. And then you'll see on the 28th, Waste Management paid me out a dividend of $7.16, and then it actually dripped 0.03 shares, and then it reinvested that. So definitely cannot complain. The dividends are coming in, and we're growing that dividend snowball. let's go ahead and see, guys, how much we made in passive income this past week. So we'll go ahead and click this calculate dividends. It adds up all the dividends for us, and it looks like we made $432.39 this week in completely passive income. I had to do nothing for this. The portfolio went and worked out for me, so you know, completely love this, and I can't wait a couple years from now what it's generating. But let's go ahead and jump over to Seeking Alpha so I can show you guys the 11 companies that are expected to announce a dividend raise in the month of April. So let's go ahead and start with the first one, which is OTIS, Otis Worldwide Corporation, currently trading about $99.27. I am on the dividend scorecard. This is actually organized and by Dividend 5-year CAGR. Dividend growth there. They are in the industrial sector. And then if we do look at the dividend summary, dividend yield is a 1.37%. Annual payout is $1.36. So they pay out for one share you do own, they'll pay you $1.36 annually. Payout ratio is very low, 37.01%. They actually don't have a 5-year CAGR yet because I believe they haven't only paid about 3 years is what they've been paying their dividends since. They do pay out quarterly, and they pay out 34 cents quarterly. If we do look at the dividend history, I'll show you guys why we think that they will probably announce a dividend raise in the month of April. So if we do look at 2023, you'll see that on the first quarter, they were paying 29 cents. On the second quarter, they were paying 34 cents. So they made a dividend raise there. So if we do look, we are on the first quarter, so they will be on the second quarter. They should hopefully announce a dividend raise. So if we look to the right, you'll see that typically on the second quarter, that gets announced around April 25th, 2023 is what that happened. If we look at 2022, there was April 22nd, 2022. So probably towards the end of April is when we should see a dividend raise from Otis Worldwide. But let's go ahead and move on to the second, guys, which is ticker symbol K, Kellanova, which is currently trading about $57.29. I believe they actually used to be named Kellogg. And if we do look here, they are in the consumer staples. Dividend yield is a 3.91%. Annual payout, they do pay out $2.24. Payout ratio is 56.25%. And then the 5-year CAGR is only a 1.43%. Dividend growth is around 19 years. They do pay out quarterly, and they pay out 56 cents. If we do look at the dividend history, I can show you guys that we are in the first quarter. So if we do look at 2023, for example, this one is a little mixed one. So they actually raised their dividend on the third quarter last year. But if we do go back from history, you'll see that 2022 as well, they switched it to the third quarter. And but if we look at 2021, you'll see that on the first quarter they were paying 57 cents, and then on the second quarter they were paying 58 cents. So maybe they might raise it on the second quarter or the third quarter, but I went ahead and just included it here. So typically on the second quarter, they actually announced that on April 28th, 2023. Last year, or I guess the 2022, April 29, 2022. I'm not 100% positive on this one that they will raise their dividend, but just wanted to go ahead and include it. But let's go ahead and move on to the third one, guys, which is ticker symbol IBM, International Business Machines Corporation, currently trading about $190.96. They are in the information technology. Dividend yield is a 3.48%. Annual payout is $6.64. And then the payout ratio is a 68.99%. 5-year CAGR, very, very low, 2.05%. They've been growing their dividend over 24 years. They do pay out quarterly. They pay you $1.66 every single quarter. And then if we do look at the history, you'll see that we are in the first quarter. We're actually going towards the second quarter, but if we look at 2023, first quarter they were paying $1.65. Second quarter they raised it to $1.66. So if we do look to the right, when they announced this, it was around April 25th, 2023. So we will probably see this if they do plan to raise their dividend towards the end of the month of April. So let's go ahead and move on to the fourth one, guys, which is ticker symbol SO, the Southern Company, the utility company right here, currently trading around $71.74. Then if we do look, they are in the utility sector. Dividend yield is a 3.90%. Annual payout is a $2.80. Payout ratio is pretty high here with a 76.37%, but I believe that a lot of the utility companies have a high payout ratio. And then 5-year CAGR is at 3.13%. Dividend growth is 22 years. Dividend frequency is quarterly. They'll pay you 70 cents every single quarter. And if we do look at the history, I can kind of show you guys here. So we are in the first quarter. If we look at 2023, for example, first quarter they were paying 68 cents. Second quarter they raised it to 70 cents. If we look to the right, second quarter that was announced April 17th, 2023. So probably again towards the end of the month of April if they do plan to raise their dividend. Let's go ahead and move on to the fifth one, guys, which is ticker symbol QCOM, Qualcomm Incorporated. Currently trading around $169.30. They are in the information technology sector. Dividend yield is a 1.89%. Annual payout is $3.20. Payout ratio is very, very low, 35.84%. 5-year CAGR at 5.23%. And then they've been growing their dividend over 20 years. They do pay out quarterly, which they pay you out 80 cents. And then if we do look at the history, I can kind of show you why we think that. So again, first quarter we're at, and then if we look at 2023, for example, first quarter they were paying 75 cents. They raised it on the second quarter to 80 cents. So if we do look to the right when they announced this will be around April 12th, 2023 was when they announced it. So potentially right around the beginning of April, maybe second week of April is when we should see this raise. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one, guys, which is ticker symbol TRV, the Travelers Companies, currently trading about $230.14. They are in the financial sector. Dividend yield is a 1.74%. Annual payout is $4. Payout ratio 29.3%. 5-year CAGR a 5.37%. Dividend growth 18 years. They do pay out quarterly, and they pay you out $1 every single quarter, which if we do look here at the dividend history, you'll see here that if we do look on 2023, for example, they were paying 93 cents on the first quarter. Second quarter, they raised it to $1. We're on the first quarter, so we're about to go to the second quarter. And on the second quarter, that got announced on April 19th, 2023. So probably towards the end of April as well. So towards the end of April, seems like there's going to be a lot of dividend raises. And let's go ahead and move on to the seventh one, which is ticker symbol PG, the Procter & Gamble Company. Currently trading about $162.25. They are in the consumer staple sector. Dividend yield is a 2.32%. Annual payout is $3.76. Payout ratio is 58.27%. 5-year CAGR is a 5.58%. Dividend growth, guys, this is insane. 67 years. They are dividend kings. Quarterly, is their frequency. They pay you 94 cents every single quarter. And then, guys, on the dividend history, if we do look at 2023, for example, they were paying 91 cents. Second quarter, they raised it to 94 cents. We are in the first quarter, so we're waiting for the second quarter. And if we do look, the second quarter last year was announced on the 11th of April 2023. So potentially is when we will see a dividend raise from them. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one, guys, which is ticker symbol AAPL. Apple company. So they are trading at $171.48. The big tech company. They are in the tech sector, and dividend yield is very low, guys. So 0.56%, less than a 1% dividend yield here. They do pay out annual payouts, which is a 96 cents for annually for one share. And this is what I was saying, my dividend yield will go down, guys, because I was into SNSXX, which had a 5% dividend yield. I dropped down to less than 1%, but payout ratio is very low, guys, 14.80%. Huge room to grow this dividend over the coming years. 5-year CAGR is actually a little bit lower. It's actually gone down in the past couple years, which they are getting about a 5.63%, and then dividend growth is 10 years. They do pay out quarterly, and they pay you 24 cents every single quarter. If we do look at the history here, this one's a little bit more different. If we do look at 2023, for example, first quarter, they were paying 23 cents. Second quarter, they raised it to 24 cents. We are on the first quarter. So on the second quarter, that one typically got announced on May 4th, 2023. But if we do look at 2022, guys, they got announced on April 28th, 2022. Same thing for the previous years. It was mostly towards the end of April. Sometimes it rolled out right around the beginning of May. But I went ahead and included it because most likely it will be in April when they announced a dividend raise from Apple. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one, guys, which is ticker symbol JNJ, Johnson & Johnson. A lot of people know this company. Currently trading about $158.19. They are in the healthcare sector. Dividend yield is a 3.01%. Payout is a $4.76. And then payout ratio is 43.06%. 5-year CAGR is a 5.75%. They are dividend kings. Dividend growth is 61 years. They've been growing their dividend quarterly. Is when they pay out. They pay you $1.19 every single quarter. And then if we do look at the dividend history, you'll see that for 2023, they were paying $1.13 on the first quarter. They raised it on their second quarter to $1.19. We are in the first quarter, so if we look to the right, second quarter typically gets announced around April 18th. 2023 is when they got announced last year. So probably in the middle of April is when we should see a dividend raise from Johnson & Johnson. Let's go ahead and move on to the second to last one, guys, which is ticker symbol AWK, American Water Works Company. And they are trading around $122.21. They are in the utility sector. Dividend yield is a 2.32%. Annual payout is at $2.83. Payout ratio is 56.80%. And 5-year CAGR, very, very juicy here. A 9.23% from a utility company. Very, very impressive. Dividend growth is 15 years. They do pay out quarterly, and they pay you out 71 cents every single quarter while they're growing their dividend there. If we do show you here, 2023, for example, first quarter, 65 cents is when they were paying. Second quarter, they raised it to 70 cents. We are on the first quarter, so if we look to the right to see the second quarter, that typically gets announced around April 26, 2023 or April 27, 2022. So towards the end of April is when we should see a dividend raise from American Water Works, which will probably be close to a double-digit 5-year CAGR. We'll see what happens there. And let's go ahead and move on to the last one, guys, which is one of my favorite companies, ticker symbol COST, Costco Wholesale Corporation. I have investments in this company, guys, currently trading around $732.63. They are in the consumer staple sector. Dividend yield, very, very low, guys, 0.56%. Annual payout is $4.08. Payout ratio, very, very low, 27.06%. Huge room to continue growing this dividend. And then 5-year CAGR, a double-digit 5-year CAGR here, guys, 12.34%. Cannot wait for this raise here. They've been growing their dividend over 19 years. They do pay out quarterly, and they pay you $1.02 every single quarter. By the next month, we should see much higher dividend payment for the quarterly. If we do look here, for example, guys, on first quarter, they were paying 90 cents. Second quarter, they raised it to $1.02. So we're in the first quarter. If we do look to the right, you'll see that that got announced on the 19th, or I guess April 19th, 2023. So maybe right around the middle of April is when we'll see a dividend raise from Costco. I cannot wait for this. But that is all the companies that are expected to announce a dividend raise in the month of April. Let me know in the comment section if you guys own any of these companies. Definitely would love to know, guys. But let's go ahead and wrap up this video, guys, by jumping over to the Google Sheets and see how much we grew the dividend snowball this week. Technically, it'll actually go down, but we'll kick it off. So I'll see you guys over there. All right, guys, so we're here at the dashboard on my Google Sheets. I already have a copy of this over here, so we can kind of see the difference on how much it went up or down by the end of the video when we kick this off. But again, on the options premium for the month of March right here, we are at $1,014.75. Rate of return 2.96%. Cannot complain there, guys. Very happy with those. This is what we actually ended up making for the month of March. $482.04 on the first week of March, and then the second week we didn't make anything. Third week $285.69, and then the final week $247.02. We'll be starting April. We'll see how much we collect in premium with that, but again, these are just crumbs on top of the dividends, which in the long term they do compound. If we do look at the dividend payout, we do have 4 companies right now that have announced dividends. If we do go to portfolio tools, get latest dividends, once you click on it, this will get wiped and it'll actually go out and see if my portfolio, if any companies did announce dividends, which it looks like none of them in my portfolio have announced any other dividends. So we do have these 2 companies in the month of April that would be paying out. And then if we do look here, guys, at the settings, we'll go ahead and get rid of this. And let's go ahead and jump over to Empower to grab the latest version of my portfolio that contains all the purchases from this past week. So I'll see you guys over there. All right, guys, so we're here at Empower on my Schwab account. You'll see this green button. Click on it. This copies the holdings of my portfolio into the clipboard, and looks like it's done. We can jump back over to the Google Sheets. Right click, paste special values only, and that has a copy of all our positions for this past week. If we do go to actually the holdings, you'll see that this is an old snapshot from last week that contains all my positions. Once we go to portfolio tools, update portfolio holdings, this will get wiped. It'll parse out the new stuff we just pasted. I do have tutorials for all this stuff, guys. It's available completely for free. Again, all I ask in return is that you're subscribed with that notification. You drop a big thumbs up on my videos. But click update portfolio holdings. This will get parsed, cleared, and we can jump back over here and we'll see how low we decrease the portfolio passive income. So if we look at the dividend yield, we're at 3.02% compared to 3.71%. Yield on cost here is at 3.41%. Now we made a huge drop down from 4.17% yearly. We made a huge drop as well. We're projected $7,253 compared to $8,837, and that was the huge switch up where I sold $35,000 from SNSXX because I got assigned 200 shares of Apple. And if we look monthly, we're projected to make about $604.50 compared to $736.42 from last week. And then on the weekly, we are projected to make $139.50. On the day, $19.87. And then on the hourly, guys, we are right back below $1 every single hour. So 83 cents every single hour that goes by we're making now, compared to that $1.01. And then on the hourly work, which this is if our portfolio was to go work a 40-hour work week, they would get paid an hourly rate of $3.49 compared to last week of $4.25. I guess they did such a bad job, they were slacking, that they got a decrease here. But eventually we're going to try to get this to minimum wage. We'll see how long that takes. That'll be a huge milestone, guys, for us. And you know, in the long term, we'll see this continue to grow and grow. And you know, this is actually all I have for you guys. Don't forget to subscribe with that notification. Again, guys, help me reach that 20,000 subscriber mark. Definitely would appreciate it. And if you stuck all the way to the very end, let me know by dropping a hashtag raises. Definitely would appreciate it, guys. And you know, definitely love that you guys come back, watch my videos, support the channel. And you know, we're gonna see this continue to compound, these dividends, continue to convert this active income into passive income, and eventually we'll be able to live off of them. So this is actually all I have for you guys. Take care, stay safe out there. Bye, guys.